Hi, this is Christy Marks, creator of Gem and the Holograms, and you're listening to a truly outrageous podcast with Mike, Amy, and Nicole. It's Showtime, Synergy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into Showtime Synergy Episode 1, since the Episode 0 recording and publishing of the first episode of the podcast, there has been a slight change. We are going to use the songs instead of clips from the show. So instead of clips like, Pizzazz insulting Jetta or vice versa, or Kimber going off on her own and being a brat, we're going to be using the songs as the bumper clips in between the plot, hologram moments, and misfit moments. So I just want to let you all know that each episode of the podcast will feature a number of songs from the episodes that we review. So just want to let you know that. But first, here's something from 2008. And then we'll get to Showtime Synergy.
Soundwave, jam that transmission! Rumble frenzy, ravage rat bat, eject, operation interference.
No, there will be no Operation Interference. I am TFG1 Mike, and you should be listening to my very first podcast, the TFG1 Podcast. 24 episodes covering the entire U.S. run of the 1984 Transformers cartoon. I also have a few supplemental episodes and an interview with Stan Bush. I bring in guest hosts who will be full-time co-hosts in Steve Megatron and fan of the show now co-host Pecan Court Michael. So check out the TFG1 Podcast. You can find it on iTunes and the web at www.geekcastradio.com. Transform and roll out! Hello and welcome to Showtime Synergy, the gym review podcast here on the Geekcast Radio Network. I am Em, and joining me are my holograms, Amy and Nicole. Hello.
Woo! You sound so excited.
No, I am. I'm very excited. No,
it's the first, almost.
Sometimes first. I can't help not sounding exciting considering what's going on in real life. But anyway, I'm super excited for this. So we had the episode 0. We talked in general about the show, and now we're going to get into it. The funny thing about this cartoon and the funny thing about the podcast now is I didn't realize this at first, and I will make a notation of this as we go along through each episode today. Mm-hmm. Gem aired. Okay, its original first run airing was Sundays.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And when Steve Megatron and I were trying to figure out when we were going to put this on our release schedule, I figured, okay, well, the name of the show has S's in it. Why not put an S in it? And I said, okay, well, Sundays will be Showtime Synergy Days. And I just now realized, going back and getting the little blurbs from Wikipedia, that these aired on Sundays in first run. Now, the interesting thing is, between each episode, episode 1, the beginning, first air date was October 6th, 1985. For episode 2, the episode 2 is The Disaster, I believe. I think that's the name of it.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. For Disaster, it aired on the 27th of October in 1985. So basically what they did on the 13th and the 20th is rerun the very first episode 2 weeks in a row. So basically the beginning, each episode as we go along will have 3 weeks of airtime before a new episode. So this wasn't like your weekly Saturday morning cartoon show. This was every 3 weeks that a new episode appeared. Oh. That would be strange to me now, to have a cartoon show do that. I mean, I know shows now go on extended periods of hiatus, like they'll show 7 or 8 episodes and then they'll go on a 10-month hiatus and come back and show the other 4 or 5 for a season, but having a cartoon go through, the first episode and then rerun the first episode the next time. I guess, with syndication and everything else, it was a way of, having people get caught up before the next new episode, but it's very, very interesting. Before we get into the episodes, do you guys have anything you want to bring up here in the intro?
I rock.
There was just this pause of like crickets going, yay, Jim!
All right. And just to remind the listeners, instead of creating more work for myself, I am going to be putting songs in between each of the episode clips. So you're going to hear songs instead of vocal clips from the actual episodes in this podcast. Since I already have like the first 20 or so songs already recorded off the DVD set. But anyway, we're going to get to the beginning after this. Alright, so first up is the beginning. As I said, original air date was October 6th, 1985, and during our little break there, we found out that they only did this repeat thing for the first 5 episodes, and then later on it was, week to week to week. Oh my god, who dropped the amp?
Huh?
Oh, that sounded weird.
Alright. That just little noise? Yeah, that my husband was open the door. With all of the humidity down here, our doors are kind of like sticking a little bit.
Oh.
It sounded like something crashed.
No, he was opening the door. Sorry.
Edit!
Right,
so, nah, leave it in.
Great.
Why not?
All of our mishaps and everything.
Yes. So the synopsis for the beginning is Jerica and Kimber's father dies and leaves his business to his daughter, Jerica, and his partner, Eric Raymond.
You see who the favorite daughter is?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Here we go. We're going to start that
drama.
Already,
oh, yeah.
Drama. Come on, man. You know it's an issue.
You know,
Great.
Yeah, I don't care if Kimber's younger. She still deserves part of it.
Eric Raymond wants to take over Starlight Music to promote the Misfits. Jerica discovers Synergy, a high-tech computer made by her father that has the ability to generate holograms. Using Synergy, Jerica becomes Gem and challenges Eric to a contest. In 6 months, the Misfits and Gem and the Holograms will compete in the Battle of the Bands. The winners get Starlight Music, a movie contract, and a mansion. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
I gotta say, overall, the main plot is set up very well.
A lot of stuff happens. Oh my goodness! I mean,
Yeah, in a 22, 23-minute cartoon, they crammed a lot in here.
Really packed it smack full of stuff. I mean, and then they get it because, you get from that all the way to the second episode, and the cool thing about it is it's ongoing. It's like it stops and leads right into the next thing. So it's like I always kind of, even as a kid, I was like, you know what? It's like a soap opera.
It is.
I was just going to bring that up because watching these first few episodes, I'm just like, man, there's a lot more going on in this than like soap operas, like you said. But soap operas, it takes like 7 months to get past the next day,
Yeah. No, there is so much going on, but it's paced so well. Like, it may seem like it's overload with all this stuff, but it's so well done, so well written by Christy Marks and all the rest of the team as far as, how the show was put together. And there are times where I'm going to complain about some of the songs. Not a lot of them, but some of them, because it's it's almost jarring to me that the songs break in. I mean, it is a smooth transition into the plot, but some of them, depending on which songs they are, it's kind of like, wow, that's a little strange. But overall, we get the general plot set up here in the beginning episode, and they basically leave it on a.
Oh, and it's all in flashback too, by the way.
Hmm.
That was something. Yeah, at the very beginning, I was like, when I watched it last night, I was like, dude, it's a flashback. Well, I mean, she says, I remember the time when my father died, blah, blah, blah.
Right,
they're showing up as being, Gem of the Holograms, getting out of their car. And they basically, within the first episode, tell all of that, where the car came from, where they start all set up. And then it doesn't go back to the flashback. It's like, it was a device to start it out, make it go smooth and quicker.
Yeah. I was gonna say, so the whole 5-part opener episodes are all flashback. The show actually never happened. No, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's a college dream.
Nicole, do you have any initial thoughts on the overall plot of the episode?
No, like I agree with what you guys said. It's very smooth. There's a lot that happened. For a first episode, it definitely gets you into it. The whole show's about. I mean, it introduced you to the bad guys and introduced you to the history of how this all came about. Yeah, it's very well done for a first episode.
Yep.
Eric Raymond's a douchebag.
Okay. He wanted his, ugly mitts on, Starlight Music forever and a day. He was already there. I mean, come on. I mean, the whole, you get the they start having issues at the Starlight House and blah, blah, blah. And, Jericho goes in there to get some, funds. And it turns out, hey, guess who's in charge?
No.
He wasn't hoping to get his mitts on Starlight Music. He had his mitts on it.
Yeah. And then I usually like bad guys, but I cannot stand him.
Oh,
the only reason why, I mean, I cannot stand Eric Raymond as a character, but the only reason why I do kind of like him is because I know it's Charlie Adler doing the voice, and I know Charlie would later in life become Buster Bunny from Tiny Toons. So that's the only reason why I kind of like Eric. But as far as his character and everything, he's a sleazeball.
He's slimy as they come.
Oh, absolutely. He sends his goon there, Rat, or whatever the hell his name is. Zipper, that's what his name is.
Yeah, Rat.
Can I tell you, that's another thing I love about the 80s, is all these fun names.
So he sends Zipper to Starlight House. Zipper sneaks in. Actually, I think Zipper... No, that's another episode we'll talk about today. Zipper sneaks in, sets... and
he starts stealing stuff. He was supposed to make them feel uneasy, basically, is all he wanted them to do. And in the process, the girls wake up, they come downstairs, and because they're having so many issues with the Starlight House, Kimber has a lamp,
lantern,
lantern, fire lantern, and it ends up getting bumped over or out of her hands and starts the mansion on fire. The drama never ends on Gem. It really doesn't.
And no, it really doesn't. But I was shocked. I'm like, wait, that's it? Holy crap! Like, the first episode ends on the fire. Like, that's the greatest thing about these opening 5-parters, is that they are a straight continuation of each other, and they're not completely individual episodic television. Where they're not a one-off, and that's what's so great about the writing. So
they all end with, how is Gem/Jericho going to die?
Or how are they going to get out of this one, man?
Yeah, we can tell which group Nicole prefers. All right,
come on, we already know that.
Yeah. All right, we are going to get to the hologram moments in a minute. All right, here we go. Hologram moments. These are the things we like about the show. The animation is really, really well done. There's a few things that I noticed in the animation that are kind of off, but overall,
Yeah, I mean, you can see the way they move and everything, and when like if they dance or if they, it's like, I feel bad saying this because it's probably like a total slap to the face, but it's like watching Barbie. She's moving and all that, and I'm like, I can see why, if I'm almost like, I kind of like that because it's like, you could almost see as if they were a doll, they were moving and stuff like that. And anyhow, it's weird. I'm sorry, that was a total dumb thing to say.
As I said before, the show is so well written. I mean, you've got stuff in here that you wouldn't normally see in any other 80s cartoon, which is really, really cool. One thing I did notice in the episode, I actually didn't count it to the exact second, but it takes them a little over 4 minutes out of the 23 minutes to actually break into the first song.
Mm.
So that was interesting.
Yeah.
I'd like to bring up a good point here for the first episode. It has a great opening. It has a great title sequence. It makes
absolutely.
It makes you know that you're in for like an adventure. So, and it introduced all the characters that are in the show. I think they did a really well job. Good job.
Oh yeah.
That's the one thing that's interesting about this show is when Gem and the Holograms and the Misfits team up. Like, there's a couple of songs that they team up on. Like, I think Click Clash is one of them.
Yeah.
And
I like that one. Yeah.
There's a couple of other ones. And
they
it's
have
really,
their own voice. Like, each music, I mean, you can definitely tell the difference between which one is Gem and the Holograms and which one is the Misfits. And all of the songs, I mean, are like that. You can always expect the Misfits to be one kind of way and Gem and the Holograms to be the other. And it's very consistent, which is I always kind of liked about the fact that you could tell who's singing what, because the tone of the song and the melody is very much them. So.
Absolutely. So, Out of My Way by the Misfits is the first song. After we see the opening theme, that is.
Yeah.
And then I love when Zipper, I think it's Zipper, that gets to the drive-in. Mm-hmm. He's like, it's an alien! When he sees Synergy.
The other part that I liked about it is that like every single song is like a music video.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like you don't really see a lot of reuse of the same cells over and over and over again. Like, I've mentioned before with, Transformers. Sometimes they would reuse like some cell things in the action sequences. Everything seems completely unique in this. And I always kind of felt that was kind of like, wow, just that they put so much into it to make a show like this work. And not only that, is that they move so quickly with it as well. It's just like, dang, man, I can't even imagine what that must have been like to like production-wise, if that was
absolutely.
A challenge or anything like that. Just really interesting.
It must have been, because Sunbow is not Filmation. I know Sunbow had a lot of stock animation, but if you look at Sunbow's lineup, the transformations for Transformers might be stock, but most of the Transformer stuff, that's not a lot. There's not a lot of reused footage there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like He-Man where, oh, hey, I need to go become He-Man now. I'll just, cut to this standard stock Yeah, I mean, Gem really... The show basically blew up boundaries on constantly using new animation.
I mean, there are definitely times where I think that I've seen a couple things where the structure of the people as they're like waving or something that looks a little strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The proportions may be slightly off, but for the most part, they hit it on target almost every single time. So it was very, I don't know, I was pretty happy with it. I've always been really impressed through almost every episode, just going, dang, man. I wonder if it cost more to actually do this show, and maybe that's the reason why they only did 3 seasons. I don't know.
Well, We'll have to have Christy Marks on the show again.
Yeah, I have to ask some questions about that.
Yeah. Actually, I'd love to get either. Well, I'd like to get them both. I'd like to get Tom Griffin and Joe Bacall on, because if we want a Sunbow interview and what goes on behind the scenes, those are the guys to talk to.
Yeah.
Them and Margaret Lesh. I had no idea she was originally back in the... I mean, I kind of knew from seeing the end credits and stuff, but I mean, she's pretty much who got the hub started now.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Nicole, what did you like about the beginning?
Like I said, I just like every single bit, every single moment of the show has something that has something to bring to the story. It's not like it was wasted storytelling. I like knowing that her dad had a secret hideaway. That he was a secret scientist or whatever. I'm just like, wait, I want to see more of this guy. You know?
Like, when did he have time to build this giant holographic synthesizer?
He never slept.
Yeah, exactly.
When the girls went down at bed at night, for at least 3 or 4 hours out of his day, he was inventing stuff.
I want to see what else he invented.
Jeez. We have anything
it's
else?
All a
Amy?
secret.
Amy, did you have anything else that you want to talk about that you liked about this one?
No, I think Nicole really nailed it. It's like the first episode is just really, it's so smooth. I mean, it just seems like everything is just going by really fast. When I was watching this again, it was just like, dang, man, there's so much packed into these first 5 episodes. It's like, boom, everything right there.
Last thing I'll say before we get to the Misfit moments is we do get the setup for the contest, and then immediately, as soon as they say that the contest is happening, the Misfits basically steal all the instruments, jump in the van, and then there's a chase, and it basically, quite literally, leaves you on a cliffhanger. So again, I say this cartoon is not just for girls, like most people seem to think it is.
It was kind of shocking. It's like, are they going to kill them? No!
And even as a child of the 80s, I do not remember... I mean, I remember my grandparents having lanterns like they had, but most of the rest of us had flashlights.
We had an oil lamp. We had an oil lamp like that.
I get it that, it's there for the plot of the story to make sure the house burns, but... This is a little silly. So we're going to get to the moments where we didn't like stuff about the episode in a moment. All right, 4 Misfit moments. I actually only wrote down 2 because honestly, this first episode is so damn good. But these are very nitpicky moments here, so I'm not gonna take anything off my final rating for this episode just because of these, because they didn't make my head explode. But the first one is the Roadster says Gem on the hood of it before she even becomes Gem. And that's one thing that's interesting to me as the series goes on. They're always driving around in the Rockin' Roadster as Jerrica and the Holograms, not just Gem and the Holograms. And it's like, seriously, how do people not figure this out?
They weren't paying attention. It's like, Superman and his and Clark Kent's glasses.
There you go. That's good. That's awesome. That's way, yeah.
The other thing that it's not so much I didn't like, is just something I noticed that is a little unexplainable. I know Rio is their road manager and everything else, but I don't remember him being there when they went on before Eric says, "You can't play here, you weren't invited," blah, 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 blah. I don't remember Rio being there. I'm sure he was, because it seemed weird to me that he would know who Jim was on the side of the road. It's like, I don't know. It's just something small and trivial. Is there anything about this one that you guys didn't like? Amy, you can go first.
Oh, well, now that you mentioned the gem along the road, the hologram projection, I thought when she was waving her arms that looked like she was like monkey arms or something. That was one of the animations errors that I thought, ooh, okay, the structure of that looks a little odd. But other than that, most of it I was pretty cool with. I mean, I didn't think about that with Rio, whether or not he figured it. Some of the stuff that they kind of imply that they, talked about it afterwards or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of implied, but it's like, my suspension of disbelief is fine with it, because whatever, my suspension of belief, disbelief, something like that, is still held, because you kind of get the sense that they just kind of skipped that little 5-minute segment where they introduced him to Jem.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough to further the plot, so we just kind of skip ahead, boom. Yeah. He's okay with it because, like, Jerica and the girls are okay with it. Who is this strange woman?
That's going to come up a lot in this podcast. Nicole, anything you didn't like about the beginning?
Well, this is going to sound very cruel, but I'm going to be cruel, okay? And it goes through the whole show. I just want to just slap Ashley every time she's on the screen. I cannot stand that little girl. It's just like, really? Really? I'm going to hurt you.
She does need to learn her lesson really quick.
Exactly. It's just like, come on. Don't just coddle to her. You got to teach her a lesson. Let's do it here and now. So, yeah, pretty much anytime she's on the screen, it's just like, ugh, I'm sorry. That's my Misfit moment.
All right.
And they're always the Starlight Girls are usually always wearing the exact same thing every day.
Okay, that's where the stock animation comes.
There you go.
For the main characters, sometimes they do have the same thing on, but a lot of the stuff that they wear is they're always wearing different clothes, which, again, coming back to the whole, maybe it's more of a plus than a minus. Because
no, it's fine.
On the minus side, the Starlight Girls are always wearing the same thing. On the positive side, all of the main characters they have a pretty healthy wardrobe. Which,
Jim,
again, for a cartoon, I mean, we've watched other cartoons, obviously, and another one, I keep on going back to this, we'll go back to it a lot, Transformers. You never saw in Transformers Prime those kids ever wearing anything except the exact same clothing, right?
Yeah.
Well, look at...
Here we have a cartoon where they're changing clothing a lot.
Well, look at The Simpsons. They haven't changed clothes in nearly 25 years.
Okay. On that note, we're going to get to the disaster after this.
Like a dream, I'll appeal to you. Like a dream, that is coming true. Like a dream, I will lead you to a place you've never seen before. Like a dream, where you're far from care. Like a dream, music everywhere. Like a dream, let me take you there and show you new worlds to explore. Follow
Up next is the second episode of Gem and the Holograms, entitled Disaster. It originally aired October 27th, 1985. For the synopsis, we have the Starlight House is burning.
Oh no!
Talk about House of the Rising Sun. Because of Eric Raymond, one of Eric Raymond's goons tries to rob it. Jerica and the Holograms go to Howard Sands, who offers the mansion in the Battle of the Bands contest. Gem and the Holograms put on a concert for him and explain what happened. He agrees to let the Starlight Girls live in his mansion until the contest is over. This makes the Misfits angry, and when Gem and the Holograms are invited to a yacht party, the Misfits crash, hit, and cause a ruckus. In the end, the Holograms win the contest and the prizes, and they also agree to stay together as a group to earn income to provide for the Starlight Girls.
My first question is, did they get Burt Reynolds' permission to use his likeness for Howard Sands? He looks just like Burt Reynolds.
He does. He does. Oh, Lord. Oh, that's funny. This basically picks up right where we left off. It furthers the plot even more. You have the Misfits doing even more evil crap to the Holograms.
I wouldn't say it's evil.
It's just evil.
They're just living up to their names.
You don't call them the Misfits without having like some misfit behavior in there, right?
The only one out of the three right now that I will give a pass to is Stormer. The other two, Pizzazz and Roxy, they are just evil bitches. I'm sorry, they are.
I love them.
I know you do.
Yes, but if we didn't have them doing what they do, then they wouldn't be called the Misfits, because Stormer, I mean, she's just so sweet, you know. She just kind of goes along with it, and sometimes she is like, I think she has her inner, misfit, type of thing, but she's more sensitive than the other two, But yeah, Pizzazz is like all spoiled brats.
I love it. I love it when she gets her sweet "I'm charming you" voice. I love it.
But right.
That's probably the creepiest thing. Yeah,
I love it.
The creepiest thing that she does.
It's her Daddy, please.
God. The featured songs in this one are "Like a Dream" by Gem and the Holograms, the crossover, the collaboration between Gem and the Misfits with Click Clash, and then the Misfits song "Making Mischief."
I like that.
Overall, duh. That's what you're always doing.
I'm not.
You are too, don't lie. Overall, I like the second episode. I like the plot. I like how I don't remember watching this as a kid, but I'm pretty sure that I would be going crazy trying to watch these 5 episodes when they aired, because it's like, oh my God. Because the way that Christy Marks set up the writing is they basically, all 4 out of the 5 episodes that leave you on cliffhangers quite literally leave you hanging off of cliffs, because it's so great to have that continuation of story. It's so refreshing in an 80s cartoon, because a lot of 80s cartoons didn't have overall, story arcs through. I mean, Transformers had, a couple 2, 3, 4, 5-parters, etc., but a lot of other 80s cartoons were strictly one-shot episodes. Yeah, and I got to agree with Nicole. Ashley is getting on my last nerve already.
Mm-hmm. And it's only 2 episodes in, and you're like, really?
I know.
Really?
Luckily, it doesn't happen like continually through each season after this. I mean, once she learns her lesson, she doesn't have to constantly be like told over and over and over. She actually, becomes loyal to them for once.
We didn't talk about this in the first episode, but I guess we can talk about it here since the house did burn down. What do we think of the whole, home, foster home for girls kind of thing? Because, I mean, I like it. I think it's interesting. But what do you guys think of that being Jerica's main focus outside of, obviously, the music career?
I think it gives them like this altruistic kind of thing. Almost, it's like it's their calling card to make them, these are definitely the good girls, because like they're trying to, sacrifice and provide for these Starlight Girls and blah blah blah. I mean, we find out more about that later, but it was just kind of like, it was a good thing just because, like, they're the good guys. They're even helping these girls that have been, left it's like an orphanage or whatever. It just, it's kind of a little cliche in a sense, because they have to have some special thing that they're doing in addition to, their career and all that stuff. But, I think it was, and especially the way that it ends, like the 3 seasons, the way that it wraps up in the end, I think it just gave it kind of like this undercurrent of responsibility. They're the responsible ones. They've got, these girls, they've got to, figure out how they're gonna keep supporting them and whatnot. Just it didn't bother me. It was just kind of like the subplot, that always was there in the background.
Yeah. What I like about it is that it's interesting, especially in these first 2 episodes where Ashley steals or tries to steal the money from the honor jar, and then instead of Jerrica being the parental figure, she leaves it up to the rest of the girls to figure out what her punishment would be. I thought that was kind of interesting, and not necessarily hands-off parenting, but it does teach responsibility a bit, because you have to be responsible for the ones that you took stuff from.
That's very true. Well, and the thing is that I always thought that was kind of good, too, because it gives the girls a little bit of responsibility as well. Hey, in government terms, they could have the next government person or the next senator or, person that's going to be going into to the law or something like that, because they were, had to find out, have their own punishment in their own household, that type of thing. So it made her honest, or not honest, but it did make her honest, obviously. Yeah. It made her responsible to her peers as well. So I thought it was kind of an interesting way to put it, but yeah, it kind of worked. It totally worked. So
any other thoughts on the overall plot, Nicole?
See, like the whole thing with the Starlight Girls, I don't find that out of character, because pretty much any successful business will actually do some kind of charity event. I just pictured, like, this is Starlight Foundation's charity, so it's not like it's out of the ordinary. I mean, pretty much.
No, I know, but I mean, the reason why I was asking is because you don't see a lot of this in other. But you don't see Matt Tracker opening a home for boys. He has enough problems with his own damn son and mask. But anyway.
So it's not out of the ordinary. But I agree with Amy. Teaching them responsibility, having to, okay, Ashley, you're going to grow up. I'm glad it was them and not me. I'm like, you're going to clean my bedroom for a year. Okay.
It could have been as petty as that. I mean, hey, man, clean all of our rooms for a year. No. They would have been going with that one. I'm actually kind of surprised that, like, Pizzazz and the Misfits never tried to get in there and take the girls away from them, like, call social services or something like that. Or did they? Did they ever try that?
No. Are you kidding me? Pizzazz is too friggin' lazy.
No, I mean, give them a hard time, instead of attacking, Gem and the Holograms while they're on stage or trying to bust all of their, fundraising events and stuff like that. Why not go after the Starlight Girls themselves? Call social services and say, hey.
Well, they kind of did go after them. I mean, they burnt the house down. I mean, it's like, I mean, okay, sure, the Misfits didn't do it directly, but Eric Raymond did, and it's one of those things where, when I say Pizzazz is lazy, I mean, she doesn't even want to think up interesting ideas for, like, she wants the easy way out. That's what she wants.
It usually involves her dad paying for it all.
Yes. So we're going to get to the hologram moments after this.
And it comes in focus, quick, and the world takes notice, quick, and in a flash, you're the latest fashion, an overnight smash. That's what we're gonna do if you don't step aside. Look out, we're coming through. Better run somewhere and hide. You better hide. Click, and it's all so thrilling. Click.
right, for the hologram moments, I do have to say that I love how Christy Marks works in the lessons, in that I don't feel like they are teaching us. Okay, they're teaching us stuff, but they're not, like, this show, the way she wrote these 5 episodes, it's not blatant. It's worked into the plot so well that you don't
waiting to the very end like G.I. Joe and saying, and now, knowing is half the battle, that type of thing.
Yeah. And again, the writing is just so good. I laughed when Jerica said, "Hey, Misfits, why don't you stay here and help us clean up? Are you kidding me? Do it yourselves." And then I think it was Shayna that said, "Oh, you found their weakness. They're allergic to work," and it is so true.
That's very true. Yeah. That's Pizzazz's thing, She'll have the maid do it or whatever. Because Daddy used to pay for everything, right?
Exactly.
So I think we're gonna start a countdown here on the show. I'm gonna count up how many times this happens in the series. This is the first episode where Jem teases Rio with telling him the secret or not. So far on the Jem secret count, we have 1 time at this point. Even though we're only 2 episodes in, Making Mischief might be the only song I like by the Misfits at this point. Because honestly, it sounds like they're screaming half the God, the Misfits are not. Pizzazz is one of the worst singers in the world.
I like that kind of music anyways. I like the heavier stuff, so it doesn't bother me.
As I was watching these first 2 episodes, specifically this one, it seems to me that these are going a lot faster than I remember them going when I was watching them as a kid.
I agree. It's just
I think it's the first 5, it's just like boom, boom, boom. Then all of a sudden it just takes off, and you're like going, holy cow, there's so much stuff that happens just even in the second episode that's like, I mean, while we're talking about it, I'm just kind of browsing through it in the background, and I'm going, geez, did that happen in this episode? Holy crap. Dang, man. I saw Jem and Rio smooching, and I thought, whoa, dude, you're supposed to be with Jericho. What are you doing?
See, don't even get me started with Rio. I cannot stand him.
I'll have a note about that later.
Okay.
All right. Nicole, what did you like about this one?
I know. It's just me. I love it when the Misfits come in and the action starts. You're just like, okay, who's going to die now?
It's always going to go wrong with those guys involved. I mean, it's like, it almost becomes a cliche thing when you get halfway into the season. It's like, any time that the Jem and the Holograms are going anywhere, the Misfits are going to show up because they have to cause trouble. And it's like, man, you guys are stalking them.
But again, that's when all the action happens. It's just, I guess I'm jealous because they get to cause all the commotion and they never have to pay for it.
No, Eric has to.
I know.
He's the one that's stuck.
I want that life. I want to cause a commotion and have someone else pay for it.
Hey, but it makes sense though, because Pizzazz is always doing that to her dad too.
Yeah. Oh, what's her name? The Duchess, or is it the Countess?
The Countess, yeah.
I want to party with her. She seems like she does have throw good parties all the time.
Oh, that's funny.
The food looks
what'd
delicious.
You like? Yeah. Talk about slipping on a shrimp.
Yeah.
That's slipping on a shrimp.
What'd you like about this one, Amy?
Okay, disaster. Each one of I like the fact, and we've already mentioned this before, I really like the fact that it just keeps on moving through the plot. I mean, every episode is just a continuation of the whole thing. And I've always really liked that. That was one of the things that really, I think, attracted me to the show to begin with, is because it was doing something that I don't think I've seen in any other cartoon, where it was just going from one episode to the next, and it just it was smoothly transitioning. It's just the next one is the next story. Mm. I mean, that really, I think, was the strongest point of the show that I really liked the most, is because of that.
Mm-hmm. All right, we are going to get to the Misfit moments in a minute.
We're making mischief, making mischief, and we're really getting
All right, so Misfit moments. I noticed in the scene where the Misfits say there's Rio, will follow him, that Rio is the only one in the vehicle. He couldn't have dropped off the girls that fast, could he? And he wasn't even supposed to... he was supposed to take them to Howard Sand's house, but he wasn't supposed to leave them. They were all supposed to wait there for Jem. I guess what it boils down to is that it's an animation flub, but it's just something that I noticed.
No, it's Rio's douchebag. He doesn't care about the girls. Sorry.
And then we get to Pizzazz, the whiny little bitch that she is. Oh my god.
But Daddy!
Oh, God.
I don't know why. I find it hilarious.
I love it when she's trying to place her father. She tries to play her father like a fiddle, and it just doesn't ever work. He's like, I mean, it kind of does, but it kind of doesn't. He'll give her a chance, and then when she blows it, that's it.
When they get to Howard Sands' mansion, 3 cars pull up. One is the Rockin' Roadster. I thought that was just the Jem and the Holograms car. They leave at the drive-in. I mean, seriously, this is something that I'm going to complain about through this whole podcast and this whole series. Anytime Jarek is in that car, it's got Jem's name on the friggin' hood ornament. She shouldn't be in that car unless she is Jem. I mean...
Well, and here's the other thing, is how did her dad know that she was going to go by Jem?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
If you really think about it, you could pick these apart. But then I always kind of looked at it as, because eventually you find out they have the toys, and they have the car, and that you actually, I don't remember if we actually saw the car before they actually had a car that you could buy. But I just thought it was kind of interesting. I always thought that, because the car looks cool. It's like this Rolls Royce looking, car. Mm-hmm. Or when they do that glitter and glam version of Jem, and they've glammed everything out, including the car. I mean, I probably saw that before I actually saw it on TV. And I thought, oh, what are they doing? And then I saw what they did on the show, and I went, oh, that's what they're doing. But yeah, everything was like I saw some of this stuff before it actually happened, and I went, oh, what are they? That's not what it's supposed to look like. And then all of a sudden, boom! I started seeing stuff that and maybe it was because I was seeing it in syndication. I don't know, but I always just thought it was kind of cool that everything's consistent. The car looks like the toy car, and whether I saw one before the other or vice versa. I thought it was kind of cool that they had the consistency there, which could be more of a plus than a minus. But you're right. It always said Jem, and how did they know ahead of time that she was going to pick Jem?
Yeah, it was a little strange. What else didn't?
Smart. Remember,
he was an inventor. He time traveled too.
Yeah. There you go.
Howard Stark of the 80s. The only other thing I noticed was Zipper is going to plant the bomb under the couch cushion.
Really?
And then he just walks, right? He sneaks into the gate. He sneaks past the gate because there's no guard there. And then we get to the back of the house. He just walks in like he owns the place. Somebody has to be there to see him, but I don't know. Amy, is there anything else you didn't like about this one?
No, the first 3 are fairly solid. I don't think that there wasn't really. I mean, some of my issues actually come later when we get the same thing happening over and over again. And we're like, again? It's going to happen again?
Mm-hmm. I was trying to find out if the Roadster came out before or after the show. I think it came out after the show started. I don't know. But Nicole, any bad moments for Disaster?
Rio needs to. That's my problem. We already talked about this.
And we'll probably talk about it again.
For sure.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Most definitely. All right, we're gonna move on to the next episode.
Twilight in Paris, city of lights, everything I hoped it would be. Twilight in Paris, the Eiffel Tower, but your face is the only thing I see. The only thing I see. I visit Montmartre, but I'm lost in a dream, and you're the one I'm dreaming of. I must be in love.
Up next is Kimber's Rebellion. The original air date was November 17th, 1985. The Holograms head to Paris to shoot their first video, Twilight in Paris. Yay, no sparkly vampires. Kimber, all of a sudden, is jealous of all the attention that Jem gets
You think?
during the video shoot. Eric offers Kimber a solo contract, and Kimber declines, but later feels unappreciated and decides to leave the Holograms. The Holograms go to Kimber's favorite radio station and express their appreciation for her. Fortunately, she hears them, and the band makes up. Meanwhile, Ashley, one of the Starlight Girls, grows angry with Jerrica and the Holograms and makes friends with the Misfits, who use her to get to Jem.
Oh.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
The featured songs in this episode are obviously Twilight in Paris, Getting Down to Business, I Got My Eye on You, and they're all... So, all three songs for this episode are all Jem and the Hologram songs. No Misfit songs in this one.
Boo.
Aw, they didn't get the love. I'm sure
Oh, and
Pizzazz threw a fit about it.
Oh, sure.
She probably broke something.
Yeah. Overall thoughts on the plot, Nicole, here?
I kind of like this because I've always thought about this with any band that's out there, because it always seems like the lead singer is always getting the attention. How does the rest of the band feel? And it kind of shows you right here. Yeah, Kimber's sick of it. She's like, hey, we're part of this too, you know? I don't blame her. I don't blame Kimber. I really don't.
I just wish it would have started last episode. Like at the end of last episode, maybe, like, because it just, for me, it comes out of nowhere here. I mean, like, I'm sure she, has a, she's justified in having the feeling she has, but it just, I don't know, it just seems like something Pizzazz would do, really, being a really whiny person.
Yeah, and I wish it would have lasted
have one on both
longer.
sides.
Yeah, I just wish it lasted I wish it would lasted a bit longer, because it didn't seem like it was only, maybe 7 minutes, 8 minutes of it. It's just like, if you're really that passionate about it, it should have lasted a couple episodes, like you said.
Yeah, that's true. Amy, thoughts on the plot?
This is the part where this is the one where she goes and teams up with Stormer, or that's another season?
You talking about Ashley?
No, I'm talking about Kimber.
Kimber, no, that's another episode.
Okay. I like the fact that it sets that up, though. It makes it believable when they actually do, when she actually does kind of take off and do her own thing.
Right.
It kind of laid a little bit of the groundwork for that really early on, that that, and it makes sense because she's the younger sister, Jerrica, and she knows that Jem is like, it's her sister, obviously. Surprise! You didn't know that already. But, I really like the fact that it actually set up a problem that they could actually use later, and ends up really kind of paying off for them. Because I remember that, like, when I saw, when I was watching this again, I thought, before I got to that one, I thought, wait, didn't she leave for a little while and then come back? And, I really like the fact that this is where they kind of pretty much set it up. And because I like the team up that happens out of that. In fact, I was like, oh, it's too bad they can't just continue to do a team up every once in a while. But yeah, this is where that kind of causes that. Well, it also made sense too, because having younger siblings myself, there were definitely times as a kid where hey, but you got to do that first, and so it made sense for me. It made it feel that much more realistic because we have a younger sibling, older sibling, things that are going on, and it kind of sets up that dynamic really easy, where you have the older sister that's kind of clueless to how the younger sister's feeling. And it also kind of a little bit of a flaw here is that Kimber is supposedly the talent behind their music, and if she leaves, she's the one that writes all the songs. Yeah. So it kind of put in that little, if she was to leave, could the Holograms and Jem do it without her? So,
well, the thing is with Kimber, you gotta remember, she didn't get anything back from her father. Jerrica's getting all the attention. She's got all the business. She's got the money. Of course she's going to be jealous. She feels like, well, I know whose daddy's favorite was.
Is surprisingly, they never really point that out too much. They don't dwell on it too much, which is kind of funny because in real life, I can tell you right now, Kimber would be so messed up. It would be an ongoing thing throughout the series, and it isn't usually an ongoing thing throughout the series. And maybe it's just because Jem/Jerica is always just pretty fair. Just like perfect, right? Everybody's, wants to be her.
Any other thoughts on the plot?
No, that I'm good with that. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on to the hologram moments.
Just been playing, fooling around while everybody else is out there covering ground. We gotta take a whole new tack to get back on the track. And it's time we get started, getting down to business. Time we get started, getting down to business. They're all saying we don't have a chance. We don't wanna let them write us off in advance. There's only one thing we can do, one thing to make our dreams come true. And it's time we get started, getting down to business. Time we get started, getting down to business. And it's time we get started, getting down to business. Time we get started, getting down to business. They're all saying we don't have a chance. We don't wanna let them write us off in advance. There's only one thing we can do, one thing to make our dreams come true. And it's time we get started, getting down to business. Time we get started, getting down to business. And it's time we get started, getting down to business. Time we get started, getting down to business.
All right, so for hologram moments for Kimber's Rebellion, I do enjoy the contrast between Jem and the Misfits, where Jem is willing to put the work in, yet the Misfits think they got it the first time out.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool because, let's face it, the music industry is hard work, especially in the 80s when there weren't like 50 different musical talent TV shows back then. Star Search was pretty much it.
Oh, man, Star Search.
I remember those days.
We're really back in the days, aren't we?
Yep, pretty much. The other one, they really know how to give us good cliffhangers.
They do. They do.
All 4 of these episodes leading up to Battle of the Bands, they kick our ass on the cliffhangers.
I agree.
Nicole, what are your good moments for this one?
Oh, geez. Like I said, I think my favorite part was the team up between Jem and the Misfits. I liked that video. I really did. That was a good moment for me.
The click clash.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah. It was in the last episode, but yeah. Still though.
Oh,
it's
that was
cool.
the last episode?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still trying to.
Okay.
Like I said, they all come together. Okay, wait. I'm trying to think. Kimber's. Sorry.
Songs for this one: Twilight in Paris, Getting Down to Business.
That's what it was.
Yep.
Oh yes, that's right. Okay. Yeah, I actually didn't mind Twilight in Paris. I thought it was a little cheesy, but getting down to business with the whole posters,
Mm-hmm.
them covering the whole city and stuff, and I'm just like, I like it when the Misfits got their revenge too. I forgot about that
Yeah.
part. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Amy? What'd you like about Kimber's Rebellion?
I think I've already said it pretty much. I like the fact that, but throwing that little bit of jealousy type thing in there, the undercurrent of that. I mean, it just kind of gives a realism to. I mean, okay, Jem. Pretty much sets up that they're the good guys. They always do the right thing. They always take the high road. They always do they always make the right decisions, where Misfits are always like messing up or selfish or whatever, and they're teaching their moments and stuff like that. And here we are giving a little bit of realism to the fact that the characters are still in a sense flawed, and I kind of liked that about that they gave them a really down to earth kind of vibe when they threw that in there with, her jealousy and whatnot. Also made her, very much the younger sister, but it just really, really worked. I really liked it because of that. And then the whole Ashley thing happens here. And again, another subplot that takes off for a couple episodes in different ways and stuff like that. As much as Ashley's just like, oh, she grates on my nerves too. The good thing is that she learns her lesson and then she moves forward. And so that was another thing I really liked about that, is the fact that this is where it starts, and there's going to be a whole plot with that. But like that again, this is a show that's got plots. The subplots are laid early. Things are really working in that way, and that's only to the show's benefit. So.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to move on to the Misfit moments.
Hey babe, I got my eye on you, and I'm watching your every move. Hey babe, I got my eye on you. Tell me, what are you trying to prove? You think you're hot and your star is due. You think you got something different and new. Well babe, I got my eye on you, and babe, oh babe, I think so too. Hey babe, I got my eye on you, and I think you look mighty fine. Hey babe, I got my eye on you, I would really like to make you mine. You think you're hot and your star is due. You think you got something different and new. Well babe, I got my eye on you, and babe, oh babe, I think so too. Hey babe, I got my eye on you, and I think you look mighty fine. Hey babe, I got my eye on you, I would really like to make you mine. 'Cause ever since you came in view, I just can't take my eyes off you. Hey babe, I got my eye on you. Hey babe, I got my eye on you. Hey babe, I got my eye on you.
Let me just do this really quick.
Okay.
Do you have any Misfit moments, Nicole?
I would say the very end where Jem kisses Rio. Come on, woman, just
Oh, God.
tell him already. I am not kidding. That
Doesn't he deserve it
like-
already? Yeah.
Yes. Only
It's
4
just like-
episodes in, or 3 episodes in, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the moment I'm just like, come on. You've got to tell him, because she's the one that's flirting with disaster, and he yeah.
All right.
So,
Amy, what are your Misfit moments for this one?
I think there was a part where they're doing some sort of rock and roll thing on the stage, and they throw boxes out of shirts, and one of the guys catches the shirt. He looked really doofy.
on the big old pink sweatshirt, loved it.
Yeah.
The Gem
But it's just,
sweatshirt.
he was kind of doofy. Like, something about his proportions was really odd. And I was like, dude, really? It doesn't look like he fits. But other than that, I'm pretty good with this one, yeah.
The only other thing that I noticed, really, besides, Kimber not... Like, if she had mumbled in the first 2 episodes about Jem's growing fame, I wouldn't have a problem with her being the way she is in this episode. The only thing I noticed was an animation flub where Pizzazz's voice comes out of Ashley's mouth. So we are going to move on to the next episode.
How long must I continue this deception? This masquerade, deception. My life seems like it's nothing but deception. A big charade. I never meant to lie to you. I swear it. I never meant to play those games. At times I want to cry to you, 'cause I can't bear it. But I fear our love will end in flame. Deception.
All right, up next is Frame Up. It originally aired December 8th, 1985. The Holograms are scheduled to play a concert in a casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. When they discover that the Misfits are their opening act, they start to worry. The Misfits bring along Ashley and use her to lure Aja away, hoping that if Aja isn't there, the Holograms can't play, and the Misfits will headline instead. Fortunately, Aja comes back in time, and they perform. Unfortunately, while the girls are on stage, Eric Raymond's goons steal the money from the concert and frame Jim. Stormer and Ashley team up to tell the truth, and Jim's name is cleared.
Yeah, a whole lot of drama all cleared
There's
up
a lot
in
of
this show.
a lot of drama.
Yeah, the featured songs for this one are Deception, Too Close, and Truly Outrageous. All gem songs this episode. So Frame Up and Kimber's Rebellion has had all gem songs to this point. So the only episode that we've talked about today that has had Misfit songs is episode 1.
Boo.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Also, Stormer, the mystery lady, has to come back again, please. She was pretty awesome.
She's as good as Old Snake in the Transformers cartoon.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when did Filmation let Shadow Weaver out of the box? Considering this, this aired after She-Ra premiered, so yeah.
With that
brilliant.
fancy hat, she could be Carmen Sandiego's sister.
Oh God, yes. Oh my God, yeah. That's so true. The plot, it's one big giant thing to this point, and it still continues, and I'm still loving the writing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this story, and it just goes to show you, like I was saying earlier, that Stormer is not as evil as the other two are.
Yeah, she's got a soft heart.
Absolutely.
Well, we find the good thing is that you might think that we know nothing about any of these characters. At this point we don't, but we're going to find out more about them. And I like Stormer. I like where she came from. She's got connections.
I mean, Roxy is just mad. That's all it is. I mean, Roxy is just mad. Pizzazz is a spoiled little rich chick.
She's crazy.
And she is crazy. There's that.
Needs help. And it just goes to prove that when they announce her real name in these episodes,
Priscilla.
Never
Phyllis.
call me that.
Phyllis. My bad.
Yeah.
Priscilla was the voice actress. Yeah.
Gotcha.
What did you like about?
We had a plant named Phyllis once.
Do you remember that list of people they were talking about that were crazy? We could put that Amy on that one now too.
Well.
No, it was my mom. She named our plant Phyllis. So it just think, Phyllis, you were named after the plant.
Good Lord.
I guess it's not any different from Audrey. Audrey too.
Oh, good Lord. Ugh. Little shop of horrors.
Little shop of horrors.
Oh, good Lord. What did you guys think of the plot?
That was a good idea. One? I mean, it just goes to show that, what's his bucket? Raymond will slink to any level he possibly can just to cause problems with these guys. I mean, it's just like they're illustrating that very well, very quickly. So.
Absolutely. What about you, Nicole?
There was just one thing that I had a problem with Frame Up, and I'll tell you right now. Okay, so like G.I. Joe Jim and the Holograms had like public service announcements and stuff. The one that they should have after this was, don't take rides from strangers, even if you can't get anywhere. Okay?
Yeah.
It's just like, here they are trying to teach kids, to behave and stuff, and then Aja just goes running around with strange people.
Especially in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Because that's where this is all going down, is in Las Vegas. I'm like, really? Are you sure you want to get on that? It's like he may look completely... just because he's a cowboy doesn't mean he's safe.
Yeah, just because he got a pretty smile doesn't mean that he.
Yeah.
Good one.
Luckily, it's the traffic that saves her, I guess, in a sense, because she's like, hey, she didn't get very far, but she doesn't get very far before. She only gets a couple blocks away, so it's like, great idea, ladies. You got her held up for a couple. a couple minutes, but she got back in time because you didn't get her away far enough.
Yeah, that's true. And those buses back in those days could not move that fast.
Exactly.
No.
They still don't move too fast these days.
Yeah, no. All right, we're gonna get to the hologram moments.
We're living real close to the edge, babe. Almost right on the brink. Judgment Day is only moments away, baby. You know what I think. We're getting too close, too close. We're living in the danger zone. Too close for our own good. We're keeping an impossible pace, babe. Always under the gun. Day and night, there ain't no end in sight. This ain't no life on the run. We're getting too close, too close. We're living in the danger zone. Too close for our own good. Living too close to the edge. For our own good. Too close to the edge. Keeping an impossible pace, babe. Always under the gun. Day and night, there ain't no end in sight. This ain't no life on the run. We're getting too close, too close. We're living in the danger zone. Too close for our own good. Too close for our own good. We're getting too close, too close. We're living in the danger zone. Too close for our own good. Too close for our own good. Too close for our own good.
All right, 4 hologram moments. What do you got, Amy?
I was just gonna say I'm really glad that in this episode, Jem/Jerica has guilt. She's got a lot of guilt. They have a whole song because she has guilt. I'm like, yeah. Now, if she had just at this point, told Rio, then it would have been much more simplistic. She would have not had so much guilt for so long, and then that guilt turns into jealousy of herself. Really? Oh, fun times.
Okay, that was good.
But that was a good. I thought it was like, yes, you should feel guilty. You should feel very, very guilty.
I will say at least Rio is smart enough, even though he's torn between the same persons, 2 different personalities. At least he can resist pizzazz.
Yes, but it's not that hard to resist pizzazz. She's
No.
That's a level of crazy most men don't want to try out.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Especially since, as soon as he says, I don't think so, she tries to hit him. Really? It's like, yeah, like that's really going to help.
I thought it was kind of funny. Kind of reminds me of a trick that Filmation does with He-Man and She-Ra and the swords. As Jem gets arrested, the handcuffs sparkle. Like there's a gleam, like a refraction of light on the handcuffs as the officer is clicking them on her hands.
Oh, speaking of He-Man moments, did you notice that one of the henchmen looked like He-Man?
Yep.
I was like, oh my gosh, that could be a misfit moment. Okay, really?
No, it's very important when you're getting handcuffed that all of the handcuffs should glitter as much as you do.
Exactly.
I do like that Ashley finally did the right thing.
Yeah.
I do like that about her character, as we've already said today in this episode. And then my final one was, Synergy, no! But then, yay, it's just a hologram.
Yeah. Oh, at the very end.
Yeah, they made it look real though.
That's the next episode.
Well, no, it's at the very end of this episode.
It's the Battle of the Bands episode.
No, it's the end of this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
That's
end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it ends.
Oh, that's right, because that's the gotcha for the end. That's the hook to hook you into the next episode. Okay, my bad. Yep. There's a lot that happens in this one. Just saying, they just move it right into the next thing. So, I thought it was really good. Another thing I wanted to kind of shout out here real quick is that we have the whole Lindsay Pierce thing going on it leads into this one, but we didn't mention her in the last one, so I thought, we got to put a little shout out to Lindsay Pierce. She becomes a regular, influence on the show as well, because she's like always interviewing them, and of course the Misfits are already always there botching it up and screwing it up for them. So,
Well, see, and it's not even that. I mean, like, Lindsay told them, you were going to get your own. Like, that's the whole point of the Misfits. They seem to think that Jem and the Holograms are getting everything that they deserve, when Lindsay was going to give them their own interview. And that's one of the problems I have with the Misfits, is they always jump to the conclusion that, oh, well, if they have it, we want it right now. And
it's like, Jem and the Holograms got it first. Why couldn't we get it first? Come on, you gotta know, It was like, hey, they're stealing the spotlight from us. We should have been there before them.
Yep. Any other
Very
hologram
self-centered,
moments?
what can we say? Yeah. I'm good. Yeah.
Nicole?
I'm good.
All right, let's get to the Misfit moments.
Look at me in a different role, trying out a brand new part. But don't you worry, baby, I know I'll never have a change of heart. Oh, it's truly, truly outrageous, truly, truly, truly outrageous. A fantasy, being anyone I wanna be, and on top of it all, you're here with me. Oh, it's truly, truly outrageous, truly, truly, truly outrageous. A fantasy, being anyone I wanna be, and on top of it all, you're here with me. Look at me in a different role, trying out a brand new part. But don't you worry, baby, I know I'll never have a change of heart. Oh, it's truly, truly outrageous, truly, truly, truly outrageous. A fantasy, being anyone I wanna be, and on top of it all, you're here with me. Oh, it's truly, truly outrageous, truly, truly, truly outrageous. A fantasy, being anyone I wanna be, and on top of it all, you're here with me. Oh, it's truly, truly outrageous, truly, truly, truly outrageous, contagious. On top of it all, you're here with me. Outrageous.
So for Misfit moments, I actually only have two for this one. I haven't noticed this till now, but what the hell kind of fashion sense does Pizzazz have? That crap on her legs looks hideous.
It was the 80s, man.
I
the 80s, yeah.
understand that, but, back in the 80s, my mom would never let me go out of the house with, mismatched, color-coded clothing and, whatever else. And it's like, I mean, I get that's the fashion for the music and for the style of, music the Misfits do, but, I mean, that stuff just looks like crap on her legs. Like half a legging and then just,
I remember
some
that style,
rubber
though.
band.
And they were leg warmers.
Yeah, but see, the problem with her leg warmer, because she only had one,
That's true.
is it's basically in the middle of her. It's basically in the middle of her shin. It's not even where a leg warmer should be.
Oh, I thought it was like a handkerchief like tied around her leg.
That's on her left leg. I'm talking about the puke green thing on her right leg.
Oh, the stocking?
Yes,
That matches her
you can't
hair.
even- yeah, it does match her hair. So I guess and the other one was the whole trapping Aja in the luggage compartment of the bus would have never happened. Even back then, they had security. That would have never. Never. I mean, my dad
People
used to work.
Yeah, you don't want to lose any of your packages and stuff like that, or people's luggage underneath there. They would have security.
Yeah, because my dad used to work for a bus company, and he was a driver, and he always had another guy there, kind of, like you said, Amy, for security to make sure that, everything goes smoothly.
The
So
last
it's like,
thing you want to do is get to your, destination and find out that people's stuff has been stolen, because, I mean, it's expensive already. I mean, I'm guessing that they probably wanted to, save money and not have to, give all their profits off to somebody that's like in a, threatening a lawsuit because they lost their luggage. So,
and I don't know, because I've never ever wanted to inspect the luggage compartment of a motor coach, but I would assume, because it is so low to the ground, I don't know if it's insulated or anything like that in there. as far as, fumes getting in, but you're pretty much right near the gas tank and the tires and everything.
Yeah.
She could have almost died.
Asphyxiation or something, yeah.
Something. Nicole, what misfit moments do you have for this one?
Okay.
Uh-oh,
I know.
Here we go. It's a Rio moment, I can already tell.
It is. And it's not what you think. I just think they've had 3 Gem videos and they all feature him. I'm just like, come on.
She's
Come
obsessed.
on. Get a new lead man in there. That's what I'm complaining about. Is their music videos. I like the music. I just wish they'd get a new lead man.
It just goes to show that, like, teenage girls, I mean, because you can kind of say, in a sense, her whole, love of Rio is very teenage-ish.
Yeah.
It's teenage love. You're on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. The drama just keeps on coming out.
I just they just need to, maybe bring him back, but use someone else for a change. And I just want to know, how many times did they kiss in this episode? That's just like, wow, there's a lot of kissing going on.
Yeah. This is not...
And I wonder why there's so much PDA in high school today.
Mm-hmm. I blame Jim.
It's all Jim's fault.
Like I've been saying all podcast here, this wasn't your average 80s cartoon.
Yeah.
Seeing that much kissing? Are you kidding me? No way.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, if you look at something like, you look at other things that Sunbow was doing, Transformers, G.I. Joe.
No, I think it's like in the 4th or 5th episode, you see Baroness and Destro making out. They get caught. They get caught by Cobra Commander, and it's awesome.
Worst threesome ever. Anyway.
This is the best podcast ever.
Now I'm flashing to friggin' Kevin Smith and Chasing Amy.
Oh.
Goddamn Chinese finger cuffs. Oh god. Anyway, Amy, what didn't you like about this episode?
Well, I wouldn't say I didn't like it. It's just, a few little things I wanted to point out that were just kind of like, oh, that's funny. Okay, So Ashley's shirt that she gets from the Misfits at the very beginning is conveniently the same color as Ashley's regular shirt. I thought that was funny. I was like, really? It's like, yeah. But you don't even know if she's going to put it on or not, but it looks the same color as what she's already got on. So I was like, oh, wow. The guy that's doing the whole thing at Las Vegas, that owns the casino, his name is Dirk. He likes to see sparks fly, which is why he put these two together. And I thought, really? For the business sense, that I thought, okay, you want drama, you're gonna get it. He says it twice. He says it once to the Misfits and once to the Gem and the Holograms. I thought, dude.
See, I think it worked out because, you got very different music styles. You get 2 different types of people coming, and you'll probably sell twice as many tickets.
True, but you're also looking at the fact that we've got 2 different, for a business guy, okay, he doesn't want to lose money at all. If you are promising that there's going to be 2 acts and then one person folds on that, if people start getting upset about the fact that you didn't deliver, now you've got money issues. So I thought, he's a Las Vegas guy. You don't ever renege on things that you do in Las Vegas because people come from all over and, you're going to get an upset group. And then the other thing I wanted to put in there is the fact that they had 3 encores. And I thought, dang, man, they didn't even have an opening band because the Misfits ultimately do back out at the last minute when Aja shows up. And I thought, that's a lot of encores. And that the band must have been really, really tired. Did they take any breaks?
Probably not.
Probably not, yeah.
Probably
so I thought, just wanted to point that out, it might be just something, back in the day as you're a kid, you're like, oh, that's really cool that they're a band and they can do this and this and this. You didn't think about that when you were a kid.
Yeah. I think the thing with that is that if Raymond was a little bit less of a sleaze and a little bit more of an upstanding businessman, he would have held the Misfits to doing
Oh yeah,
the show.
they also
And
said that whole thing where they're like, "And you can't threaten us because we're not going to do it." And I thought, yeah, because then you start, threatening physical violence, don't you?
Mhm. Well, the other thing is, I think if he would have given, instead of having the Misfits head open for Gem, if he would have given them equal billing, it might have been a little bit better. I mean, overall, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's a 30-year-old episode of a cartoon, but
Yeah.
it's like the story might have gone a little bit differently if he had given them equal billing.
I was under the impression at this point that he kind of wasn't as involved with the Misfits, even though he was kind of backing them. I think that comes a little bit later where he's actually, trying to step in and make sure because, they...
You mean Eric?
Eric Raymond.
No. I'm talking about Cowboy Dude.
Oh, Mr. Jerk guy,
If Cowboy Dude
Well,
had,
he
instead
did
of
throw out the whole contract thing and say, hey, you're contractually blah, 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 blah.
yeah, he did that to Gem, not the Misfits. But
Yeah,
what I'm
because
saying
they
is-
threatened to they
Right.
threatened him afterward.
Right, that's what I'm
Roxy was gonna kick his butt. I think she could do it too.
the face.
But that's what I'm saying. He wouldn't have had all the drama, or
Yeah.
not as much drama, if he had given them equal billing on the bill instead of saying that the Misfits
gotcha.
are open
I see
for
what
Gem.
I see what you mean.
As far as Eric has always been in. I mean,
He does backpedal at some point in one of the seasons where he's like, "Okay, you're costing me all this money because you're
Isn't it that in the
doing things." So eventually, he does have a little bit of business sense
yeah.
when he's not being a sleaze or hiring private investigators that are also thugs.
All right, I think we're going to move on to the last episode of the day after this.
Like a crystal gleaming bright, like a prism bend in light. She can turn the day to night. She's got the power. She's got the power. She's got the power. She's got the power. See the way the candles gleam. Feel the sun throw off its beam. She can turn life into a dream. She's got the power. She's got the power. She's got the power. She's got the power. See the way the candles gleam. Feel the sun throw off its beam. She can turn life into a dream. She's got the power. She's got the power. She's got the power. She's got the power. She's got the power to create confusion. Mastery is no illusion. She's got the power. She's got the power. She's got the power.
All right, finally up today is the 5th episode of Gem and the Holograms Battle of the Bands.
We're
It
finally
aired
here! Woohoo!
December 29th, 1985. Eric Raymond sends Malone to investigate Gem to try to discover her true identity. Malone uncovers Synergy in the abandoned drive-in. He takes a picture and takes the evidence to Eric Raymond. The Holograms realize that their secret is out and rush back to the drive-in to prevent Synergy from being discovered by Eric Raymond. On the night of the Battle of the Bands, Eric Raymond holds Ashley hostage and tells Jericho to meet him at the Starlight Drive-In. It's up to the Holograms to save Ashley, but can they save her and still perform in the contest in time? The featured songs were "She's Got the Power." Holy crap! It's He-Man all over again.
She-Ra.
Well, yeah. Taking It All by the Misfits and
Yay,
Music is Magic
finally.
by Gem and the Holograms. So 2 Gem songs and 1 Misfit songs.
Can I just say one thing? This drive-in hasn't seen as much action in the past decade as it has in the past 2 days.
Yeah, no. Starlight Drive-In, it's an old abandoned movie theater at this point. It's not really, I mean...
It's a front. Come on. It's just a front for all of his secrets. Come on, man.
True, yeah. But I'm saying, I'm sure at one point, I'm sure they actually had, had used it as a drive-in. But yeah, you're right.
Well, how long has it been since you've been to an actual drive-in?
Oh, God.
Months.
At least
There you go.
30, 33 years.
I was at one. When did Captain America come out? Just a few
Oh, that
months
was in
ago.
May. It was in May.
Yeah, so
Wasn't
it
that-
wasn't that long. Well, it was more like June when it was. We still have a working drive-in, people in Salt Lake. It's really fun. They do a double feature. So it was Captain America and Spider-Man. Yeah.
Sweet.
Mhm.
I went and saw, I think, City of Angels and another one. I don't remember which one. It was like it's been a good 20 years. I mean,
I was going
but
to say, yeah,
there is
1998.
one. There's one that's actually working here in the Phoenix area that we've used to drive past a lot, and we'd see like a big screen playing in the background, and they did it through. They pumped the audio through a short-term radio wave or whatever. So when you drove past, you could hear it for like maybe two minutes.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They're out there. They haven't gone extinct. Just saying.
Yep.
Nope. What do we think of the plot for the final part of the 5-parter, ladies?
Had to be done.
Yeah.
We had to
Very
have
true.
a synergy episode that was kind of like about her, and I mean not completely about her because we really don't learn that much about her other than how awesome she is. But it was good. It had to be done. Again, showing Raymond, how low he will go to get in the way of the success of Gem and the Holograms, and whatever he will do to win. He's such a sore loser.
Yes, he is. Nicole, thoughts on the plot for this one?
No, because that's one thing I remember. I always was thinking. I'm just like, well, someone's got to try to figure out who Jem is. I mean, like Amy said, it had to be done. It had to answer some questions and get on with the plot. And I kind of liked the synergy episode. I thought it was really fun because she is cool.
She is awesome. She can, she's smart. She's got intelligence beyond her time.
Yeah.
She can even sense when something's wrong. She's like, what's going on?
Yes.
Who programmed this girl? Woo!
She's got the force.
She's got the force.
Synergy's a
She's
Jedi.
got the power.
She's a Jedi.
She's a Jedi. Oh, funny.
All right.
Oh,
we're
it
gonna
also,
get to-
it also goes
Go
to
ahead.
show that Misfits turn on Ashley at this point. So she's like, hey,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, girl, you should have known. This is
Mm-hmm.
what happens when you get turned on, I mean, not in that way.
Wow.
Whoa, okay, this is...
Okay, let's
E-rate,
go to the
right?
hologram moments before. Yeah.
I want to use that as my hologram moment.
Oh my god. We'll be back
Stuff that
in a
comes out
moment.
of my mouth. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we thought Nicole was bad after midnight. We'll be back after this.
You got it, no need to be shy. When you made it, parade and shout it to the skies. We're taking it all, making it a clean sweep. Surprise, surprise, we're claiming the prize and making the final leap and taking it all. Taking it all. When you want it, you done it, no need to be coy. So shut out, so strut out, come loose and enjoy. We're taking it
right, hologram moments for Battle of the Bands. I love how Malone figures it out, and then Eric, the idiot that Eric is, he just dismisses. Oh well, I've seen them together before.
Well, that is a valid that is a valid observation. That he's seen them both before. How is that possible? Because at this point, they don't realize that one of them is a hologram. I mean,
Right.
None of them were watching any of the TV shows around at the time and seeing any of the other hologram stuff during the 80s. No, not at all. Absolutely not.
But you would think that, Eric wouldn't, if Eric really wants to get to the bottom of it, he would say, well, look into it further instead of just dismissing it immediately, saying, well, I've seen them together before. It's like, really? You're going to just believe that?
Looks can be deceiving.
Yes. I was really halfway hoping that Stormer would basically be against the Misfits. When they basically gave her that ultimatum, you're either with us or against us, I was hoping she would really, step out on them.
You know what the thing is? I think she's terrified of the other two.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
She does say that. When Ashley says, they scare me, she says, they scare me sometimes.
In the previous episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the scene when they're at the drive-in and Synergy plays the tricks on the guys holding the holograms.
Oh, the lions.
The lions.
Well, and the different girls that keep on trying to escape, but then don't, and then they do, and then you're constantly questioning. Well, are they real or are they the hologram?
Yeah.
until everybody shows up, and then you're like, oh, okay, that's who they are. That's where they are.
I mean, I know that the Misfits, their style of music is liked by some people, but
Hey.
I liked the song in this one. Taking It All was a good song.
No, I mean, I like that song, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I'm very happy that they didn't win the contest because, I mean,
come on,
if the Misfits won, I know, but I'm just saying, if the Misfits had won, that mansion would have been trashed or set on fire or something, and they wouldn't appreciate it. Whereas, having Gem and the Holograms win and being able to give the home to the foster girls and everything else.
We knew that they were going to win. Come on, it's a kids show.
True.
They're
And
the
then
good guys. They're going to win.
Yeah, and then one of the outside of all the explosions and car chases and everything else we've had in this 5-parter. The actual person-on-person violence begins because Rio punches Eric Raymond out.
Well, if you think about it, Eric Raymond slapped Jerica first.
Yeah, I was just going to say he did physical violence against a woman first.
That's true. That is true.
So, I mean, he could have
can't believe they actually
charges pressed for that.
Yeah,
for assault.
that is very true.
That would have landed him in jail.
Nope. All right, Amy, what'd you like about this final episode today?
What I like about it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are this is the Misfit moments?
Your hologram movement.
Your hologram moments.
Oh, hologram moments. We're still doing that one. Okay. I really like the fact that Synergy made herself look like she was completely trashed.
Yeah.
It was like, oh no, it's the beginning, and you're like, ah, you can actually see what she's capable of, and it's like, cool, I want one. I'd say definitely she's the most, well, not only that, she saves the day too, to be honest, because she keeps all these guys distracted until the real people show up. Yeah, I liked that. I like that. There was, if we've already done the Misfit moments, I did miss one that I wanted to put in there. Darn it.
We haven't yet.
Okay, all right, that's next. All right, cool. Yeah, I had Synergy. She takes the cake on this one.
Nicole?
Oh, let's see what else we got. Okay, I did like the moment with Stormer. You could honestly feel she has compassion for Ashley, which is a lot more than I can say about myself. Okay.
She's really, it's the good thing about it is that you want to know more about her because of that.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, why her? Why Stormer?
Why is she so nice?
And why did she get involved with these other two?
Yeah.
So it does make you want to know more about her and her history, her background. And like you said, I believe it's been a while since I've watched, but I think I remember. You find out more about her. So I really like that moment. And of course, the whole Synergy. She's just cool. Like you said, Synergy's awesome. I want her myself.
I want a set of those sparkly earrings with a synergy
Yeah.
system behind that,
I just don't want to get dressed every day. That's gonna cut down a lot of time to get dressed.
Wow. I'm just gonna go around naked and I hope my batteries don't run out and then all of a sudden, whoops.
You just walk around in your PJs, you feel comfortable, but you look better,
Did Amy just say naked and batteries in the same sentence?
I did.
Oh my
See,
god.
I am not people think I'm the dirty one.
When it comes to Cyclonus, you can't deny that.
Wait, which one of us is knocked up? Yeah.
Well,
I
that's
tell you that Cyclonus is the dad.
Oh, Lord. Okay, we're going to head to Misfit Moments before this episode goes any further down the rat hole.
Music is magic. Nothing can compare. Everybody starts to rock when music's in the air. Music is magic. Music makes you whole. Music is magic. It wraps itself around you, filling up your soul. Music is magic. Cuts through sadness like a knife. Wondrous and mystical. Magic, something of a miracle. Music is the sweet, sweet sound of life. Music sets you free. It lets you see the world the way it ought to be. Music is magic, cuts through sadness like a knife. Wondrous and mystical. Magic, something of a miracle. Music is the sweet, sweet sound of life. Music sets you free. It lets you see the world the way it ought to be. Music is magic. Music makes you fly. Music is magic. It finds you when you're low and lifts you to the
Misfit Moments for the Battle of the Bands. I didn't write anything down. I thought this episode was fairly solid. There wasn't anything in the animation that I noticed that was wrong with it.
I've got
there
an
was.
animation moment.
Oh boy.
Again, this should not be called Misfits moments. This should be called Rio moments for me. The Misfits, when they're doing their video and stuff, they have Rio on the money. When did Rio become so smart that he's money worthy? He's on the $100 bill. Don't think so. Okay? He can't tell the difference between two women that are they're the same person. He shouldn't be on money. He needs to be in a therapist's office. Okay. That was my Misfit moment.
Amy.
I was gonna say they bent time and space to get them to the concert in time.
That's true. They
I mean,
traveled
'cause
a lot.
a lot of stuff happened in that short amount of time, and then they had to get there right on time. And I thought, man, I don't know how long that guy that was running the I can't remember his name now, unfortunately, that was running the contest. I don't know how long he can make that 5-10 minute stretch.
Howard Sands.
Howard
yeah.
Sands, there you go.
Yeah.
He must have really bent time and space to make enough time for them to be able to go, do all of that stuff, show up with the police, because there's going to be police reports and whatnot, even if they had to go back to wherever to do the concert. It's like, seriously,
Maybe he
there
was practicing
so many
his
things could have gone
stand-up.
wrong. Yeah, just they had to bend time and space to get that.
I think this is where a good, healthy suspension of disbelief comes in, because
Yeah, kind of had a look at
because
that.
I mean, yeah, you're right that the timing isn't well done, but I will say that the episode itself, and how they make it look like the time has passed fluidly was done fairly well.
Oh yeah, I mean, that was done well. It was just, if you really think about it, like, well, I don't think after all that stuff that happened that they would have gotten back in time.
No, not really. All right.
That was my only thing, though. We've already talked about everything else, so yeah.
Yeah. We're going to take...
I do notice that Pizzaz's skirt gets shorter and shorter with each episode. We're going to be seeing her hoo-ha here shortly. if that animation doesn't get a little control on it.
Wow.
Really? Go check it out. Her skirt's getting shorter. Hey, maybe that's a hologram moment for some people. You know?
I think it would be a hologram moment.
Let me ask you,
Wardrobe
Nicole.
mishap.
Let me ask you, Nicole. Since she has green curtains, do you think the curtains match the carpet?
Did the carpet match the curtain? Don't
God.
She likes the burning sensation.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break and hear some other ads from the other network affiliates, and we'll be back after this with final thoughts and ratings on these first 5 episodes of Gem and the Holograms. We'll
I
be back
apologize if you've lost your sponsors.
No. Oh, God. We'll be back in a moment.
Gem will be right back after these messages.
By the power of Grayskull, I command the jaw bridge. Open!
Yes, that's right. We have traveled to Eternia to enter Castle Grayskull. Join Optimus Solo and TFJ and Mike as they find themselves telling tales of Eternia. We cover all things He-Man in this 45-episode-long podcast. You can find us on iTunes and www.geekassradio.com. By the power of Grayskull, we all have the power.
And now, back to Gem.
So we are back, and we are going to be rating the 5-part episode today. 1 rating per cartoon, and we're going to be rating them on a 0 to 5 Gem Star earring scale. This is also based, this is going to be based off of the GCRN Universal Rating System, which will be in the episode post so people can see that. Nicole, what are you going to give the beginning?
I know this is going to sound weird to come right out of the gate. I'm going to give it a 5-star just because it was a good setup to the series. You got introduced to the characters and you actually got to know who each individual character was. The opening theme song was good. It got you involved. I would say for a pilot series, I guess it's considered the pilot, whatever. I thought they did a very good job. Yeah, I'll give it a 5. Why not? Why not? I'm feeling happy today.
Must be all those drugs.
I'm not on drugs.
That's what she says. That's what she says. She doesn't remember taking them.
I probably do. If I did, I don't. It's true. That is fact, sister. That is a fact.
All right. Amy, what about you for the beginning?
I've just been hanging around Nicole long enough to know. I'm going to say I really liked it. I'm going to give it a 4. I don't want to give everything I don't want to give everything a perfect score right out of the gate, but it was really solid. I think that, we have already pointed out some of the few little problems, but they're easy to forgive because there is so much fun stuff in there. And like what Nicole said, you get to know the characters. It's pretty, you get a pretty good idea of what's going to run in the subplots because of, how they set it up. And, it's a good turnout. So yeah, good.
I think for me, I'm also going to give it a 5. Everything Nicole said, plus we get some backstory which is interesting that, they start out with the backstory of, of the Benton sisters' father dying, and that, that's interesting. If I really wanted to, take into account my nitpicks about the animation and everything else, I would put it down to a 4. But, overall, it was a great start to the series. What about Disaster, Nicole?
This is probably out of the 5-parter my least favorite out of all of them. It just seemed to be like the slow burn one. I'm going to give this a 3.5. I still enjoyed watching it, but it just felt like there was still action going on, but it felt like it was needed, but they could have cut a lot of it out and made it a 4-part thing. But I still enjoyed it. So 3.5, I'd say.
What about you, Amy?
Oh, my bad. I thought we were giving it for the whole thing.
Oh.
That was kind of like my rating for the whole,
Oh.
the whole
Okay.
as a 5-parter, because I know it didn't come out as a 5-parter, but since we reviewed it as a 5-parter, I thought, oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, I'd give it like I said, a 4. I was like, that was my whole kind of evaluation of the whole thing, not just individual episodes. So
Okay.
sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. Between this 5-parter, the beginning of this, there were, because I actually wrote them down, between 5 without commercials, 22, 23-minute cartoon episodes, they fit 14 songs into these 5 episodes.
Wow. Wow.
Do you have a favorite song from these, Amy?
Actually, you missed one.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Winning is Everything is not on that list.
Oh, you're right.
Mhm.
Okay, so 15,
So there's 15
songs.
Yep. The other reason why I picked that one out is just because I was watching the first one. I was like, oh, which one is this one? And I went to your list and went, huh, it's not on here. So I throw it in there. I liked. The thing is that there's quite a few of them. I like some of the messages of some of them. I've already mentioned before that Taking It All by the Misfits was probably my favorite in this group. But I also liked. I did like only the beginning, but I also like the whole music is magic at the very end because it has a good message. So yeah.
Absolutely. What about you, Nicole?
So out of all the 5-parters, the whole shebang,
Yeah.
like I said before, I like Click Clash. I like that one. It has both bands in it, and I don't know. I just like the 2 different rivaling styles.
Yeah. I think for me, I still enjoy Making Mischief by the Misfits and probably only the beginning from Gem and the Holograms out of these.
I also like She's Got the Power, but that's just because Synergy is that awesome.
She's cool.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. All right. That is going to do it for this first episode of Showtime Synergy. Thank you for joining us. There are so ways to get in contact with us to leave feedback for the show. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on each and every episode post, along with all our other content. Leave us email at feedback@geekcastradio.com. Leave us the show's feedback in iTunes. Please do this. Follow us on Twitter. You can follow at GeekCastRadio for all the other network updates. Mine is TFG and Mike. Amy, what is your Twitter?
My Twitter is Lady of Rec. Find me there and follow me. Yay!
Nicole?
That's Beatles Diva, Beatles the band, not the bug. There you go.
Jingle,
Find me,
jingle,
or I'll
jingle,
find
jingle.
Become a fan on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Geekcast or Radio Network. Call the voicemail line. Tell us the show you're leaving the message for and your name. 502-526-5821. There is a 5-minute time limit. We hope you enjoyed the latest episode of Showtime Synergy. I wish you'll join us next time when we will be reviewing the next 3 episodes of Gem and the Holograms Season 1, those being the Star Bright 3-parter.
Woohoo!
For now, I am TFG and Mike with
Lady Rec.
Nicole, Hailstorm, Beatles Diva, Your Highness.
Woo!
I rule. Walk on.
Tune in next time and help us get truly outrageous with Showtime Synergy.
We're truly outrageous.
Me and my friends are jam girls, jam